Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Edward. Brenda, how's everybody doing today? Good, I hope. I don't know where Captain Joe is.
Good morning, Paul. Well, yeah, good morning, Paul.
I'll be right back. I gotta let Mia out real quick.
Okay. Morning, Edward and Brenda.
Anyway, I went and did a ship this morning, and there's a couple of ships went by in the meantime, but I didn't get them.
Didn't know.
Because the timing is never right, you know?
Yeah, we've got a little bit of fog today. Not much. Well, it's clearing a bit now. It was quite foggy this morning.
The
And we're about 7 degrees, 6 degrees all day.
got my camera over here set in the backyard so I can watch for Mia. I don't see her, so she must be around the garage or in the bushes or whatever.
Yeah.
But after I did the ship, I had a chance to stop and get me some Boston creams.
Why not? It's Christmas, isn't it? It's allowed.
That's what I tell myself. Cool cat. Good morning.
Afternoon, Michael.
Black River, 1 hour, 45 minutes. It's all done. Roger, Manitowoc. Good morning, Jim. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, Jim.
Nia's got to go to the vet this afternoon.
What's that for? Just a checkup.
Yeah, check up on a nail trim.
All right.
She's got those nail claw,
Yeah.
bird claw nails, you know.
Yeah, Precious has, but she walks around on the flags out here in the back garden, so it wears them down a bit. Last time I took her in to see if she needed them doing, they just trimmed a little bit off and said they're fine, really, but and didn't charge me for it. So I thought, well, that was all right.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
Lance.
gentlemen. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Lance.
How are you guys?
So.
Surviving.
Slept in this morning, Paul?
Did you?
Did you? You weren't on right at 6.
No, I actually went out and got a ship this morning.
And now you're eating your Boston cream.
Boston creams. That was a stop on the way back.
There you
Yeah,
go.
he's eating his Boston cream because he had his Ducalac yesterday.
I filled up the Tahoe. Then I went across the street to Tim Hortons and got the farmer's wrap, and which is like a breakfast burrito,
Mhm.
and I got the Boston creams because
Cool.
in the back of my head it kept telling me I could hear Captain Joe's voice going, "Don't forget to stop.
Go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Go to the doctor.
Boston cream."
Morning, Joe.
Morning. Oh, sell dogs. Sell 3 dogs. That's what I was saying. I just fed y'all everything. Get away from me. Get away from me.
So
There they go.
Oregon, Ohio State is for the national championship, I think.
Oregon and who?
Ohio State,
The Ohio State.
the Ohio State. The winner there will win it all.
Well, now what group are they in?
College.
Well, you got U of M, Michigan football.
They're not in it.
Michigan sucks.
How about MSU?
Again, they suck.
Sucks.
Ohio State is going to beat their butt. Is that you think?
Oh, they won't play this year. So now that's just the playoffs, so they won't play. In fact, they probably beat them in the regular season. Although Ohio State lost to Michigan, so Michigan doesn't suck as bad as we think they do.
Yeah, Michigan beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
That was a rivalry game. That's all.
Was that the Wolverine?
Yeah, say that again, Mark.
Was that the Wolverines?
It is, yes.
Yeah.
So it's Clemson, Texas. Texas will roll in that game. Oh, they already did. Hold on. Let's see.
The Wolverines did quite well last year.
They did. They won it all last year. They beat my team, Washington.
Another trash team.
Yeah, they were terrible this year for sure. Okay, Penn State, Boise State. I think Penn State will win that. That's going to be the best game, the closest game, I think. Then it's Texas.
I'd like to see Boise win it.
Texas, Arizona State, Texas is gonna roll. That's gonna be ugly. In Ohio State, Oregon, that's gonna be a really close game as well. Oregon will win that one. And then Notre Dame, Georgia. Georgia will roll in that game. So really there'll be 2 good games and 2 bad games for the final in this final eight games. That's my thought anyway. Those are my pick'ems.
I gotta go yell at me. I'll be right back.
Morning, Edward. How are you? Hey, Brenda. Michael, good morning. Hey, Dre.
Morning.
Okay, my Grinch shirt has arrived to customs in the United States.
Is that
So
who
it
plays
will be
Dre?
there for 3 months.
Colorado BYU. They already played this year.
Yeah.
That should be a good game. What day is that? Is that New Year's Day? Let's go look here. There's, the
So
other don't mean
I'm
anything.
officially deleting my USA Drone Flyer channel
Why?
because that little girl was able to fly the Neo and I can't.
Let's see. Friday. When did they play?
Yeah, Jonathan sent it to me last night to rub it in. I was beaten by a little girl.
San Jose State should have won that game. They were the best. They were better than South Florida. Who is UTSA? What team is that? They played Coastal Carolina. UTSA.
Something San Antonio, maybe. Something T unit, whatever it is. I bet you the SA San Antonio.
What's that?
UT,
Hey, Dre.
UTSA.
Hey, good morning.
Dre, what
Hey,
is UTSA?
UTSA is University of Texas San Antonio,
Okay.
but BYU in Colorado has not played because that conference is so large. They have two divisions.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a 12-team conference, so they get 6 and 6.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. That'll
I'm just saying that I think more people who has ever watched Colorado play this year knows the level of excitement they bring on the field. And I think a lot of people were hoping they were going to get in the playoffs, no matter who they would have faced, because this for the level of excitement that they bring to on the field. Like I said, I think more people are waiting for this bowl game. Because like I say, some of those first round games, they were snooze fest.
They were terrible.
And like I said, I think if Colorado could have got in there somehow, not to say that they were better than some of the teams that did get picked, but I mean, sometimes, like I say, I've always been one of those people. I never could understand when I was younger why Notre Dame was always in a bowl game. Notre Dame can finish 6 and 6 and get invited to a large bowl because they have such a large following. Everybody knows if you invite Notre Dame to a bowl game, you're going to make money.
Yep.
And bowl games is basically what it's all about, making money. So you want to have teams that are going to have a large following, a big TV audience, so the school can maximize the amount of money they can bring in. And that's what Colorado brings to the table. They have a good following. They have a great television presence. They bring all the stars out, from East Coast, West Coast. Everybody shows up on the sidelines. So it's almost like going to the Oscars with a football game.
Well, you've got Pittsburgh and Toledo in the Game Above Sports Bowl.
In Detroit.
And you've got Rutgers and Kentucky State in the Rate Bowl.
In Phoenix.
And that's both today.
And I bet you both.
Who's in the Rose Bowl?
The Rose Bowl is going to be
Ohio State, Oregon.
Ohio State and Oregon.
Ohio State, Oregon.
Ohio State, Oregon.
And the Sugar Bowl?
I think the Sugar Bowl is going to be next month. late next month. I think that is going to be the grand
Yep.
championship game, isn't it?
No, Sugar Bowl's first.
Sugar Bowl's first, then they're going to play the championship game where? Is it going to be in New Orleans?
Hold on, the championship game is, I got them right here.
It's either going to be in Georgia or
is
New Orleans.
Notre
God.
Dame, Georgia. Notre Dame, Georgia is in New Orleans. Isn't that the
About-
Sugar Bowl?
10 bowl games.
Yeah, national championship is in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta. Okay. That's what I thought
Yeah.
somewhere. Okay. No, but I'm just saying, like you talk about some of these other teams that you just announced, Lance. I guarantee you, 2 of those games put together will not have the TV audience that the Colorado game against BYU will have.
I agree. I think Prime has done wonders for college football
Mm-hmm.
as
He
far
has.
as just his cockiness and his
Right. Well, I mean,
what he brings.
yeah, he brings to the table and he delivers. That's what the
Yeah.
whole thing. He delivers. It's one thing to talk a lot of trash and then get the brakes beat off of you, but he has delivered at every level he's played at and now where he's coached at. But like I said, the other day I went to go pick up my what day was I over? I was over at my parents' house the day before. We stopped by there and I picked them up yesterday to bring over to the house. And my dad was watching North Dakota State and South Dakota State. And I asked him, was that the Division II bowl game or something? 2 teams that, I hardly anybody in on this panel or even in chat has even heard what kind of record they had to be in Division II championship. But they were playing on ESPN.
Yep,
You know,
I saw
and
some of that game.
Yeah, and I'm like, not that they play bad ball, but I mean, like I say, it's when you start having bowl games and television rights to games and stuff, you want to make your money. That's the big thing, and that's always been the drawback to teams out west is that we never got the attention of the SEC conference or even the ACC conference. Those guys were always on TV every week. They had television deals and stuff because a lot of those states, a lot of schools are in, don't have professional teams. So everybody in that state is always glued to TV when Alabama plays, when somebody Mississippi plays, somebody, other places that don't have professional teams where most people fall in love with and live and die on. All they got is the college teams.
Yes, as much as I don't like Alabama, they should have been in before Arizona State or Clemson or some of those other teams that lost in the first round. But
Yeah. And like I said, it's how they have it set up. I mean, that was a crazy fin. That's why I say that that division, the Big 12 now, because of how it went down, it could have been Colorado could have been in that position, BYU could have been in position, or Arizona State who ended up going. It was down to the last game of the season, and like I said, it's kind of sad because Colorado only played one of them. That was Arizona State. They didn't even play against BYU. Arizona State played both, and they lost to BYU, I believe it was, and they beat Colorado. So it was kind of funky how they decide who's the conference champion was. But
because there was a 4-way tie, I think, wasn't there?
Right, yeah, it was almost like a 3.
Iowa
I know at
State.
least a 3-way. Iowa was a 4-way tie.
Iowa State, yeah.
Right. So I think it should have been some type of conference playoff to determine who was going to be the actual conference championship.
Yeah.
Before they got to that level.
I had a conversation. We had 25 people over here, family members over here last night for Christmas dinner. And a couple of my nephews, they're in their late 30s. They were arguing that Boise State dude should have won the Heisman. And I said, you play 100 snaps in college and tell me at the level that the guy at Colorado played and tell me I argued that I played college ball. There's no way I could have played 100 both ways.
Right.
The dude
every game.
Every game. And he probably will do that. And Deion Sanders played both ways for a bit when he was in the pros. So we'll see if this guy does.
Yeah. And like I said, it's one thing to play both ways, but when you're an impact player on both sides of the ball, that's even a higher level because of the fact this guy was catching touchdowns on the offense and he was getting interceptions, causing fumbles on the defense.
Yep.
So I mean, this is a guy that you have to almost plan for if you're the opposing team on both sides of your offense and defense. you got to make exceptions. So yeah, this guy was a hands down favorite to be the Heisman. Nothing against the kid from Boise, but like I said, it was just like I say, he had a great season as a running back. I mean, like I said, he was a featured back. He didn't have to share time with nobody like most teams do nowadays. They have a run by committee type offense where you might have to share time with another running back or something like that. This guy was as they say, the bell carrier, give him the ball. Great season. I said if it was not for Travis Hunter being, playing, he would have been hands down favorite just by the amount of yardage that he had this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you stack his stats up against other Heisman Trophy winners, and he was better than a lot of the running backs.
Right.
But there were two guys that were very well deserving of it. It could have easily been 5, but I still think that Hunter had to work harder.
Yeah. Yeah. I look back over the year because I remember, back in the 70s when Archie Griffin got his first one, well deserved. I didn't think he deserved the second one. I think at the time he got his second one. I'm trying to think who had a better season. I want to say either Anthony Davis at SC either had a better season or somebody else did. And I always thought that Capoletti was, I say, a sentimental pick for Heisman when he got his, because there were those that were way better than he was.
Yeah,
stuff.
74, 75, he won.
Yeah. There was the guys who had better stats than he did, but I think come out of Penn State, and just a lot of tradition and everything else. And like I say, it was a team that played on the national television more than anybody else back in those days. And that's what I'm saying. Notre Dame has such a great following. No matter what their season is, they can go to a bowl game with a losing season, and they'll still sell out the crowd.
Mhm.
It's just the following of that school, the long history of the school.
Yeah,
don't you think like in voting like that, once they win, they're like a different level now because it's like notoriety. If he shows up on the list again, boom, yes,
Yeah, well, that's how it works sometimes, and I can say, because it is mostly coaches and sports writers, and I just put it up to the same level, just like any other awards, Grammy Awards, Oscar Awards. I mean, once you get to that level of being nominated, if you're a winner, you get a lot more opportunities. Because I mean, I always look at people like this. I said, you look at even the ones they had on stage that night, and you look at a lot of guys on there, what type of professional career did they have? A lot of those guys didn't have as much success in the pros as they did in college.
And Griffin had a terrible, terrible time in the pros. Chuck Muncie of California was the guy that finished second in 75.
Yeah, and I think Muncie had a better season.
And I think he had a better pro career as well.
Mm-hmm. And so I mean, it's really. That's why I was looking at it. Was just I looked at the guys that was on stage that night, and I recognized some of them guys, and I said, man, his pro career was very short, or he was very, I would say, uneventful pro career. I mean, just to get to the pros is an honor, and like I say, it's such a small percentage of those who play the game, all the way through. I always say from the days of playing Pop Warner all the way through to college, and you actually get a chance to play on a professional team is no joke in itself. But you compare yourself when you're the Heisman Trophy winner, you get matched up against all the top-notch players.
Yeah. Chuck Muncie played in the Pro Bowl in 1979 with the Saints. He played for the Chargers.
Yeah, I remember he played with the Chargers.
2013.
Chuck Muncie's trash.
He died young. He died really young.
What's that, Joe?
Chuck Muncie was trash.
But it's kind of funny. I can say, some of these guys were top quality people just on a bad team at a bad time. I think one of the best Heisman people who went to a good team at the right time might have been Reggie Bush. He came to the Saints at the right time. Got him a Super Bowl with them boys, and I can say
let me tell you about Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush is a scary little fella.
Yeah,
he came out, got in his call one time to leave after a game, and there were fans out there, he got so scared he called the police.
Hmm.
Because he said they had people coming up to him trying to talk to him.
Yeah.
He was probably high on something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could have been, he
Oh,
was trash.
Griffin
Yeah.
played for the Cincinnati Bengals for 7 years. I would have never thought he played that long.
Right.
And I bet he was in a starter.
And you know who
very often.
you know who had the better career as a pro was his fullback at Ohio State. Remember his name?
I
Lance?
don't. No, I don't.
Sam Bam Cunningham.
Yeah, that's right. Minnesota Vikings.
The Vikings, and he also played for the Patriots for a while. And I think he even played for the Bengals for a minute because he was a short yardage back.
Let's see. I'll tell you where he played.
You got Louisiana.
For New England. Played for
Tech
New England.
3,
Mm-hmm.
and they're playing TCU on Saturday in the New Mexico Bowl on ESPN. You got Louisiana Tech, who are 5-7, playing 22 Army, who are 11-2.
Who's 5-7?
Louisiana Tech.
And they got to a bowl game?
Yeah,
I think
they're
it's a bowl.
Only because
the
Marshall
Independence
backed
Bowl.
out.
Oh,
Only because
wow.
Marshall backed out.
Yeah, I
on
don't know what's
Sunday.
going on with Marshall. I guess almost a half the players have entered the portal down there or something.
Yeah.
They're going through a big old fiasco.
And then on Tuesday, you've got Alabama against Michigan. Michigan are 7-5 in the Rail Quest Bowl.
That is going to be a blowout.
That's on
That's going to be the
ESPN.
worst game on TV that day.
Michigan and Alabama?
Yeah, and
Yes,
then
yes.
Baylor are playing LSU in the Texas Bowl.
LSU's got
Alabama's
some
going to
issues.
roll.
LSU were 8-4.
Yeah, LSU's got some coaching issues going on down there. I don't know what the deal is. Joe, can you elaborate? I'm sure you know
Alabama's
these.
trash.
I'm sure you know these boys at LSU personally.
LSU actually, they got like 14 people portaling in, getting transferred in for next year. Big
Is that right?
boys.
Oh,
And
Baylor,
the coach
Baylor and
thinks he's
LSU
going
are
to
both
stay there. I don't know
8-4.
how.
Yeah, that's why I said I know they got some kind of coaching controversy going on there.
Mm.
They'll probably keep him in because of the portal.
Mhm.
Wait till you see what happens.
But who are Baylor then?
Baylor's out of Texas.
All right. Well, they're 8-4, and LSU are 8-4.
Mm. That's not a bad match. I remember there used to only be about maybe 4 or 5 bowl games, and all of a sudden the bowl games started creeping up, and basically if you were a good size company, you got your name put on it. Before
Yeah.
all the bowl games used to be named after fruits or flowers.
They're both on Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, like that. You had the Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Rose Bowl, Cotton Bowl. Then
Peach
everybody
Bowl.
else, Peach Bowl, and everybody sit home and watch the bowl.
There's that many bloody bowls.
Now, like I say, now you're like, what? FedEx Bowl? You got, like I say, whoever. And then some of these companies, some people don't even know who they are. Who Bowl?
The
Yeah.
Navy
The-
Marine Corps Memorial Stadium Bowl.
Yeah. And then what was it? Last year
Hey,
they had a special
Watch
bowl
your mouth.
named
It's not corpse.
named after Jimmy Kimmel, the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl. Now it's the Gronkowski Bowl or
Who
something.
are
I'm like,
you?
what kind of nonsense is this?
And what call center are you calling from?
Wait a minute. You just called my number and you're not calling me?
Hang up, Paul. Hang up, Paul.
I'm like, yeah, okay. What kind of nonsense you trying to spread? I'm not calling you, sir. I said, why my phone ring?
Georgia Tech Vanderbilt. Georgia Tech Vanderbilt will be a good game. Oklahoma
my
Navy
God.
should be a good game.
You've got
Navy's going to a bowl?
Yeah, to
got
Oklahoma. Yeah. Navy's
Iowa
playing Oklahoma.
versus Missouri in the Music City Bowl.
Yeah, Music City Bowl. Stupid stuff. Now, Navy didn't have that good of a season. I mean, they beat Army, which it was a real more embarrassment for Army with the season they had.
Actually, Navy started like 5-0 or 6-0, and then they lost to They got blown out by Notre Dame, and they lost to
Mhm.
like Tulane, and that was it. They won the rest of their games, so they didn't have a bad season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess maybe everybody was just on that Army, bandwagon
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh,
Because
Army are
then Navy blows them out in the rivalry game, which
Um,
tends to happen.
yeah, Army are 11-2. They're playing Louisiana Tech in the Independence Bowl.
Yeah, Louisiana Tech gonna
Navy.
get whooped.
Navy lost 3 games. They lost to Notre Dame 51-14, lost to Rice 20-10, and lost to Tulane 35-0. They won the rest of their games. They were 6-2, 9-3 overall.
And
They're
Army
scared in
finished
their
what? Army was what? They were undefeated until they lost to
8-0.
Navy, right?
Yep,
11
8-0 in conference and 11-2.
Mm-hmm.
You muted, Paul.
He was on
Yeah.
the phone, wasn't
Yeah.
They couldn't have finished 8-0 because they lost to Navy. I wonder if they're not. Are they in the same division? It says the American standings.
I don't know. I can say I don't know about the academies. I don't know if I know Air Force used to be in a conference, and they were like the only ones for a long time.
Yeah,
The Air Force was in the same
Mountain West.
conference as Mountain West. Yeah, and I don't know if Navy ever went into one. That's why I was shocked when they talked about Army this year. I said, "What conference are they in?" And it's a fairly new one. I never even heard of it before.
Yeah, they used to both be independent,
they?
along with Notre Dame and
Right.
Penn State was
Mhm.
independent for a while.
Right.
Navy finished 9-3. They're playing Oklahoma, who finished 6-6 in the
See, Oklahoma doesn't deserve to be in the bowl. I'm sorry. You finished 500. You need to sit home.
Armed Forces Bowl.
It's their name though. I think you're right.
I
Trey.
know. Yeah, it's
The
the
name.
name. Yeah, they travel well. They have, like I said, they bring folks to the stadium to put butts in the seat, and that's what Notre Dame does. But I'm under the impression if you 500 or just above 500, you need to be sit home watching, rethinking why you at that level.
Navy are playing at 5 o'clock our time today, which is that will be 11 a.m. 11 a.m. your time in Seattle and California.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Alamo Bowl, which is Colorado's in, plays Friday, don't they? Also, or is it Saturday?
They play Saturday.
Who?
Colorado and
Colorado.
BYU.
They play Saturday, the 28th at 4:30 p.m. our time.
Yeah, at home to Miami.
San Antonio.
Yeah.
Colorado State 8-4.
Mm-hmm.
Miami 8-5.
You're looking at Colorado State. We're talking about Colorado.
Oh, Colorado there.
Yeah, Colorado versus BYU.
Yeah. Colorado finished 9-3. BYU 10-2.
Mm-hmm.
That's on Saturday evening. In the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah, is that an indoor stadium, Lance?
Alamo Bowl. I don't know. Alamo.
I don't know either. I think it is.
That's a good question.
Colorado were the home team, it says here.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if it is an indoor game, that will make it even more interesting. That's always the wild card play when you go to some of these bowl games and they're outdoors, and it all depends if a team comes from a different area of the country where they don't have to play in bad conditions. They're not used to that bad weather.
Yeah.
Yes, it's an indoor stadium.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah,
so that's gonna midnight our time.
Yeah, that's going to be a good matchup there. Playing on an indoor field. Yeah.
Half past 7 Eastern.
Those on the panel, raise your hand if you're going to watch the Seattle-Chicago game today.
Woohoo.
Trash.
Tempted to.
My hand's up. My hand's
You
up.
know what? Lance, I'm gonna probably watch it, but I'm just hoping that I want to see a good game between them. Both teams have the tools to be much better than what they are. I mean, Seattle ain't doing bad.
Agreed.
They need to finish strong here to make it to the playoffs because they're playing themselves out of the playoffs right now.
Yeah, I agree.
But Chicago, it's just like they haven't put together a full game yet. They play
should.
maybe they play maybe one good quarter, maybe one half, and then they disappear.
Now,
God,
as college
I might
football,
not.
as college football strictly over on pay-per-view now?
See,
No, a lot
ESPN
of
on
college-
most of it.
The college football should be on all the major channels: CBS,
Yeah.
NBC.
No, because I just
ABC,
went and scanned all of my major channels today, and there's no college football.
Well, maybe not today.
Let's see. Today is what, Thursday? What's the date?
Today's the
They've
26th.
got the third week of the bowl today.
Okay, so you should have Pittsburgh, Toledo. You should have
What-
Rutgers, Kansas State, and
No.
He wants
Arkansas
to know what channel they're playing on. What
yeah.
broadcast? Who's broadcasting?
Yes,
the
Who's
show?
broadcasting?
ESPN on all
ESPN.
3 games.
ESPN. Okay.
Pittsburgh are ESPN. Rutgers are ESPN. They're the only 2 today.
Arkansas State, Bowling Green, ESPN. That's the 3rd game tonight at 6.
All right, that's
Probably
not
tomorrow
that-
for you.
on my list.
The
Oh,
time,
you see what?
Oh,
6 p.m. Seattle time.
Arkansas Bowling Green. It says tomorrow,
Yeah,
but
it's
that's
6
because it
p.m.
starts. That's because it starts at 2:00 in the morning our time.
Yeah. And then Oklahoma Navy is 9
In
8.
the Venture Bowl.
Be a good game. Hancock Whitney Stadium in Mobile, Alabama. That's where they're playing.
Let me see if I've even got ESPN on here.
Yeah, all 3 today are on
Yeah, it's
ESPN.
basic channels, Paul. ESPN, unless it's ESPN Plus.
I'm going to go grab some coffee in about 2 minutes.
Careful, did he come back?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Syracuse and Washington are on Fox tomorrow. Boston and Nebraska are on ABC. Iowa and Miami are on ABC. Most of the rest are on
ESPN.
ESPN. You've got Miami versus Colorado State on the CW, whatever channel that is.
Yeah, CW out west out here, California, call it KTLA.
Yeah. And BYU Colorado are on ABC.
Yeah.
Louisiana Tech versus Army's on ESPN.
Mm.
Mostly ESPN. A
Yeah,
couple on
ESPN. ESPN is on
ABC.
cable 202 here, and they start college football at 2:00 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. It
So-
says 7 Pittsburgh kickoff at 7 our time, so that
And then
would
at 5:30
be
is Rutgers versus Kansas State,
yeah, and that's 10:30 our time.
and at 9 p.m.
And then
Arkansas State
yeah.
at Bowling Green.
That's 2 a.m. our time.
So I guess you have to divvy up the television time of all those TVs you got, Paul.
Yeah, I might have to make one of these 6 TVs on that channel. Yeah.
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 Put a game on every TV.
Well, they're one after the other, aren't they?
I only have to have one game because it's consecutive, one right after the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to say one thing. I watched the Kansas City game yesterday on Netflix. They did a pretty good job. I give it to them. They did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I agree. And I like the little in on their microphones. They
Yeah.
switched that up real quick, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah. I said they did a pretty good job. But I guess I always not a big fan of having games on what I call pay-per-view channels. I think it's very unfortunate that we have to have
Yeah.
I agree.
professional sports. You know, it's for professional. So at least give the average person an opportunity to view it on a regular broadcast channel.
Yeah.
You know, I've never
Yeah.
been a fan of even for boxing having things on HBO, and now it's on Netflix and other pay-per-view things. I said that's just unfortunate for the regular people who may not have access to that kind of stuff. Everybody doesn't have a full complement of we call apps channels or whatever you want to call them to
Yeah.
watch this stuff, or interested and feel like I have to sign up for something so I can just watch a game.
And Dre, it's going that way. It's
Yeah.
going to be that way. You and I may not see it, but
Mhm.
TJ will see it.
It's all about the money.
Well,
And
Yeah, well, like I said,
I don't-
it takes away
I-
from the everyday, or I say every man guy who just wants to sit down on a holiday, enjoy himself with his family, and watch the big game with the family. And now you got to say, oh, what's this Netflix stuff? Some folks ain't into that.
Yeah.
know?
and I'm a channel surfer, and to
Yeah.
get out of Netflix and back in takes 3 minutes, right?
Right,
I
yeah,
can't go from one channel to another once I get into Prime or Netflix.
right.
It's
Yeah,
a
you got
three-
go back to the
endeavor.
home menu and get back into another app and go there and there. And that, like I said, that's why I say I don't. Only thing I really watch on the regular, I call regular channels, is basically news, local news. Get a couple of national news. And that's about it, because most of the regular national broadcasting stations, their I call prime time lineup doesn't really thrill me anymore like it did, years ago. That you now you're forced to go to a Prime or a Netflix or Apple TV and all this kind of stuff to watch anything decent that it keeps your interest.
Yeah, lucky I get Netflix included in my cable package. So
Yeah. But I said that's real unfortunate, man. Like some folks, like I said, they don't want to spend a ton of money. Like I said, when you start talking about $200-300 for a cable package, that's ridiculous. Like I say, most of us here all grew up with throwing an antenna on the rooftop, and you got all those channels.
that's it. We only had 3 television channels when I was a kid.
Yeah, like I say, out here in California, we had well, it wasn't actually 13, but we went channel 2 through 13. And you got everything you need to watch. If you wanted to watch Dodger baseball, you watch channel 5. You want Laker basketball, you watch channel 9. And football came on ABC, NBC, CBS on Sundays, and you had ABC on Monday nights, Monday Night Football, and everything. And then you had a few other local channels. Fox was just KTTV out here in California is Fox. And we've always had Fox out here since I was a little kid. I know some folks didn't get Fox until almost the 90s when they started broadcasting across the country. But yeah, I think it's a disservice to the overall public the way the broadcast industry is set up nowadays.
Yep, I miss my little brother, having to tell him, go move your rabbit ears. And he would.
Yeah, Brad, talk about PBS. Yeah, that's why I
aluminum
used to.
foil on rabbit ears and everything.
I know our PBS out here in California. That's what we used to watch. Speed Racer and Gigantor and
Gumby and Pokey.
Yeah, Gumby and Pokey and Kimba the Lion, which I hated.
You weren't a Timba fan?
Kimber the Lion? No, I wasn't. Kimber the Lion was not my thing. I like Kimber was more of a problem child than anything else.
That's how Brad got so smart. He watched PBS.
I was gonna say you said PBS, and all of a sudden Don pops in, Mudball.
Mash,
yeah.
Mash and Daktari.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to bring some documentary into the mix here. Watch. Come
And
on.
I still,
Come on,
like I
Don.
said, I still watch PBS now. The only reason I watch it now is I like watching the one professor from Princeton or Harvard do the ancestry thing with different people. They go back and trace their family tree.
I love Ken Burns.
Yeah, Kim Burns stuff is nice. Stuff, but yeah, the one professor does all the and I can't even say it now. Basically, your family tree, and I watch it. Like he always inviting celebrities and stuff, and surprise them what their family tree is.
So, Paul, what ship did you fly this morning?
An articulated tug barge. It was the tug that was nestled in the back of it was a Defiance, and the barge itself was a self-unloading Ashtabula.
Do you have a picture of that, Paul? Because when you use the term articulating, I'm thinking that this ship can move from stern to bow. It can move independently.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Because
Like
I'm
a
thinking,
bus.
yeah, like I said, because when you say articulating, I'm thinking like heavy equipment I used to move. When you get a front loader with an articulating front end, that means the front end can wiggle back and forth, and the back end can stay straight.
Let
Yeah,
me
that's
see if I can
pretty
pull up
much.
a picture here.
The barge has a slot in the back of it, and the tugboat slots into it and pushes it.
Articulate.
That's why I mean when you use the term articulate, usually it means something is moving by itself, articulating left and right, up and
Well,
down.
that's it. I mean, we call what you call a tractor trailer, we call an articulated lorry.
Right. That's what I'm saying. When he says articulating tug, okay,
Yeah.
I'm wondering, okay, what's moving independently from the rest of the ship?
Screen share, here it comes.
Yeah, I don't know how they actually fit the tug onto the barge at the back. Whether it's with a fifth wheel type thing or whether it just slots solidly.
Pushes it.
Can
Yeah.
you see it?
Yeah, we can see it. Now I'm thinking that
There's what they do is they cut the back end out
right.
and they stick a seagoing tug in there.
Right. I grasp that, but when you use the term articulating, I'm thinking either that ship, the rear of that ship is moving independently from the front, or the same thing with that tug. Something's moving independently from the other.
The tug can back out of there to be serviced or whatever.
Yeah, I get that. It basically it's a push deal.
Yeah.
But I can say when I hear the term articulating, I've always associated that word with independent movement from the rest, which that right there is just a simple push barge.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
something that's got to be pushed.
Yeah, and to be
I
articulated.
think of it like a
it
bus.
can bend.
Those buses that have two pieces and there's a big
Right,
accordion in the middle.
Right. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm thinking. When you use the term articulate, I'm like, wow. That's why I said I want to see that. I said, how are they calling this thing articulating?
Well,
when
that's the official name of it.
yeah, I mean,
Sure.
I'm sure
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I never doubt that. But I'm just saying when you say articulating, that's what's in people's heads. And that's why I said I want to see a picture of this thing and find out where does it
Because
articulate.
there's times when we have like a regular tug barge combination
Mhm.
where they've got the cables back to the barge and tug pulling it.
Yes, Jim, that's right. Miss Dr. Gates, Lewis Gates is the one on the PBS show that does the background on a lot of celebrities.
So Brad, you dropped cable. My brother-in-law has YouTube TV, and they showed me the other night, and I thought I might go that route.
Yeah, my oldest son, he has a YouTube TV. He the one turned me on to the Amazon years ago, and And that's when I dropped cable back then because it was so much cheaper. But like I said, over time, like I said again, then you start picking up all these other apps, the Netflix,
You get
and
back to
other
normal.
stuff. Yeah, I would say normal. You just start paying almost as much
Yeah.
money as you was with the cable company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Cause
that's what Joe meant. You're paying
Yeah, yeah.
just as much.
And my thing is, everybody said, "Well, it's only $9 a month." I said, 9 times 12 equals how much?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Times
I'm still,
times
I'm,
4 apps. Yeah.
yeah, like I said, I'm still paying over
Over
$100 something dollars a year, and the cable company was charging me, XYZ dollars too. I'm like, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, I use IPTV even though it's not exactly legal because
Hmm.
it's a place that picks up pretty much every internet protocol television channel that broadcasts over the internet. So you get worldwide, and that costs me £50 a year.
Yeah. And see, my
And
my my
that's
biggest
not-
my biggest vice is being a home theater enthusiast. Sound quality and picture quality is very big to me, so I don't mind paying the little extra amount of money to make sure I get the Dolby Atmos, I get the 4K.
You want the sound.
Yeah, I want the full sound, the full
wait.
picture. I don't want to
You-
see no low
You don't want
resolution
rabbit
nothing.
ears. You don't want
Yeah, I
rabbit
don't want
ears.
no rabbit
Yeah.
ear stuff. I don't want no low resolution nothing. I said I spent too much money on this stuff to get something less than what I'm paying for. So I mean, like I say, like Disney got me this year big time, man. And I usually got Disney for the grandkids, but like I say, Disney gave the option. Either you can go with the regular package, which was cheaper, but now they put ads in. I said, why am I paying you if I'm gonna pay for it? So give me the high level package with no ads. I get the high level audio, high level picture, all this kind of stuff. But now they charge me 150 something bucks this last year instead of the 60 bucks I used to pay.
So Dre,
Yeah.
Jim has a question for you in the chat. I don't know if you can see the chat or not.
I can see it. Which one? I saw the one about Dr. Gates.
Yeah, no, Lewis Gates. Yeah, did you already talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I told him. I said that's the one I watched with Dr. Gates, Lewis Gates. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the show I watch on PBS.
So Dre, did you see that video that little girl put out with the Neo?
No,
I'm
no.
officially retiring my
Yeah,
channel at
John-
the end of the month.
Jonathan,
I heard you say that. You said like John. I thought you said Jonathan posted something with the little girl who was flying a
And
Neo.
Jonathan rubbed
Yeah.
it in.
Oh boy.
the Neo that he got with his refund
Mm-hmm.
extra money from his Mavic or whatever it was that he
Well,
took.
I'm surprised he didn't
Yeah.
send it to me because usually Jonathan will send me a video in a
He gave
heartbeat.
He gave it to the 13-year-old girl across the road,
Uh-huh.
and now he's given her the
He gave it an
the
N3.
RTX controller so
Oh
that
boy.
he can fly it better because she was doing so well with it. He thought, well,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
No.
she was flying it just autonomously, but
Oh wow.
and she was using the phone to talk into it because they'll let you do that so you could record into it.
Mm-hmm.
So she did a pretty good job for 13 years old. First time ever.
Well, like I said, they're
Mom
more
was just
they're
tired.
more adapt to it, Joe. We have to learn to do it. It's just second nature to them. She probably has better dexterity in her hands than you'll probably ever have in your lifetime.
I'm gonna put a black ribbon over my background.
You guys see that? I probably have to share it again. Hold on.
Is this the little girl here?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And she says that she's an awesome Neo and an awesome neighbor that gave it to me for Christmas and all of this.
Is she on the phone with somebody or she's controlled it with the phone?
She's talking and the drone picks up the audio.
Oh wow.
yeah, when you talk to your phone or a microphone attached to your phone,
Mm-hmm.
it actually records it on the drone's internal storage as well as the video.
Oh wow.
That is kind of a cool feature.
Level.
That is like I
Yeah.
said, now that makes it worthwhile why I got it for my grandson. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just put a big black ribbon, like, for
Yeah.
mortar, when somebody gets killed, over
Yeah.
my background, because I'm done.
So if
Yeah.
you're vlogging and having it following you or
Mhm.
tracking you from in front, and you've got
Yeah.
one of the mic minis attached to you or whatever, and then attached to your phone in your pocket, you
Yeah.
could talk
And
into it and it'll record everything while you're talking as well.
yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
There's the
Like-
link.
like-
I put it in the chat.
It's a
Like I
brilliant
said,
little
it's a
vlogging tool.
selfie drone.
It's got a lot more than just a selfie drone. But yeah,
Well, like I said, I mean, that's if you're recording yourself, that's great. That's what the whole deal is. A selfie drone that actually allows you to record yourself. If I'm not talking this video part, but actually the when you're talking. So, like I said, as we always talk about the future, you always see in these sci-fi movies where the so-called futuristic journalist has his own little camera flying around behind it and videotaping it while they're doing a live on the air news report.
and it has noise suppression too. So you
Yeah.
can actually make it removes the noise of the propellers and surroundings as well, and
Oh,
just pick
wow.
your voice.
Yeah. That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
So I have to.
I found a new use for AI music. I
Mhm.
wrote a song about 10 years ago. And it's a selfie grainy Christmas, a grainy selfie Christmas. And I wrote it and I sang it out and did all of this. And I put the words into AI yesterday and came out with it, and it came out pretty good.
Mm. Well, I like
So
that
I
last
stuck
one
it
you
on,
did.
yeah, I stuck it on YouTube, and my daughter stuck it on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that when she put it on last night on TikTok, this morning she woke up, had like 1,700 views already
Mm.
overnight. You know,
Wow. Well, I guess we have to say goodbye to TikTok in a few more weeks.
yeah, but he's also talking about trying to find a way to get it back. So I don't know what he's doing, because everybody supported him on TikTok. You know,
Yeah. Well, see, like sometimes when
politics.
I say politics, but when you start that
Yeah.
boulder rolling downhill, kind of hard to stop it.
Boy, you telling us. Eventually, you're gonna land in a swamp, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All it needs is for an American company to put money into it for him to say, right, it's okay, it's partly American now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't hear. That's the problem we're not hearing is that this guy is not willing to share or partly allow someone to come in. Well, that's what we know. Don't have anybody come in as an American partner or turn over the storage capabilities to American servers, as far as what we know. So my thing is, if President-elect Trump is trying to aid this individual now, he needs to look at the particulars of it and says, hey, get your buddy Elon, step up to the table and say, hey, we need to do something here.
It wouldn't
You know?
surprise me if it won't be him.
Some of his other tech buddies and say, hey, you guys need to start hosting this guy's stuff. We don't want to lose this guy. Because like I said, once you start that legislation stuff downhill, it's going downhill. And they already voted on it. So it ain't like it's got to get voted on nothing. This is already a done deal. This is the deadline coming up.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court is like, King's X, we out of it.
Yeah.
So
You got this little town. You got a little town north of me, Kentwood, Louisiana, and it's a little town. They've had a couple of shootings up there, and it's next to Bogalusa. It's a lot of gang related, drug related. Last night at one of the convenience stores up there, well, there's a car getting gas on one side. There's only one pump, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, the car's getting gas, and the guy's sitting behind him. And after he pumps it full of gas, he goes out and he starts cleaning his window. So he's cleaning his window, so the guy behind him, so he's having a little argument with him about it. So they start arguing, wind up shooting each other.
And nobody got to
because he didn't move fast enough.
Right.
One of them died, the other one's in critical condition.
That's
Christmas night, you're gonna die over somebody washing their windows in their car.
It is crazy, isn't it?
Funny part about it, Dre, I'd have been standing on the other side and they start shooting. I'm gonna shoot back. I'm gonna start shooting too.
Mhm.
Think about it. You be defending. You don't know if you're defending yourself or not. You know.
Yeah, that's it.
So shit, I heard bullets flying and I saw them running at each other. I didn't know they were running towards me next, so I just started shooting.
I said, bullets going down range. I want to be one standing around catching one.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw something back at least.
Mm-hmm.
I drove through Bogalusa about a year ago. I was saying, Lord, please don't let this car break down.
Mm.
That's a bad area now.
Mm.
Bad part about it looks so run down.
Yeah.
Nobody even wants to take care of it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I always tell my wife when we, travel different cities and stuff, and I always look at not so much the quality of the housing, but it's always the maintenance of the area, how people take pride in their, properties. I mean, I always look at my wife, say, these folks don't have brand new looking homes. They just better maintain them compared to the
paint them
folks
every
that
once in a while,
Yeah,
pick
they-
up the trash.
right.
You
The
don't have
yards are
10 dead
maintained.
cars out front
Yeah.
and a broken down trailer in the back.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I tell her. It's not the anything newer about the housing stock. It's simply about these people maintain what they have, and it looks nice.
Mhm.
So I always say it's about taking pride in your property. I mean, everybody can't live in a mansion. Not that everybody
Yeah.
needs to, but have a little pride in what you do have. Take care of the lawn or whatever it is. Keep the maintenance, paint, whatever that kind of stuff. And I always tell people, I said it's almost like a community peer pressure feeling. If you're the only house on the block that looks like trash, eventually you're gonna start doing something because you don't want to be singled out on the whole block
yeah.
unless you just one of them type of people who just don't care at
What
all.
gets me, if you go out into the country around here
Mhm.
and you see the guy that's got the brand new house built out front, and
Mhm.
it's not new anymore, but it's starting to look old, right?
Mhm.
And then about 50 feet behind his house, he got the old trailer that the walls are falling down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they used to live in. But he don't
Mhm.
get rid of it because that's where he puts all his trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now the walls are falling down.
Mhm.
Shoot. And it makes everything look bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But I said that's we call it the broken window effect, in law enforcement, that if you don't maintain what you have, you get this broken window effect, and this is what starts uh the trash look, starts the graffiti starts showing up, all the other negative things start showing up because it looks like no one cares, the neglect is obvious, and then you bring in the other elements, like I say, the graffiti, other stuff like that comes in, and then it just looks like garbage.
You
And
know,
everything
we got to
else.
be careful now. Joe Fortalio's in the house. Forget about it.
Yeah. So that's all I always tell people. I say, have a little pride. It's like I can tell people all the time. I hear people complain about potholes in the street. And I know that's a nationwide thing. I said, yeah, that is an issue. But I always tell them, I said, I could have, we public works department, we can do more work filling potholes if I don't have to sign crew members to go pick up illegal dumps. People stop dumping off couches, tables, mattresses, and all kind of crap. I said the local refuse company who we sold our contract to will give you 2 free pickups a year, Joe. 2 free pickups a year, as long as it's something they can throw in the back of a rear loader within 10, 15 minutes. And I tell folks, I said, all you got to do is call them. They'll tell you the date and you put it on the curb. That's all you got to do. I said, most of you folks will take time to go borrow a truck or rent a truck from U-Haul, Home Depot, whatever, and then drive down not even the alleyways anymore. They just go along some road. They can just easily just dump stuff and leave it there. And I said, now guess what? Now we got to assign people to go around and collect this crap when they could have been out doing other things to make the city better. I got to go behind and clean up behind the citizens of the city.
That's like New Orleans East, right before Bullard. There's a road service road goes down, then it wraps around through a little wooded area on
Mhm.
by Bullard, down by the interstate, and
Yeah.
and it travels the interstate all the way down to Lake Forest Boulevard. Now they'll go out there, and there'll be 8,000 automobile tires,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll go out there and spend a week cleaning it up. Right, a
Yep.
week later they got 7,000 automobile tires.
Yep.
Now my
Yep.
question is this: why don't we put a camera out there and catch them?
Yeah, that's one of the first things people say, put a camera out there to catch them. But like I said, most of this stuff is done at night. So now you got to get a special camera that can see night vision.
But it's gonna be a
Oh,
lot
it's a-
cheaper than moving them.
Yeah, yeah, it's always in the long run, yes.
Put some police out there.
Yeah.
As soon as they
Well,
pull
that's-
up with a truck, then you box them in and you say, "Come here, bitch."
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, cool. I've done it when we put up K-rail to block access, block the roads
Yeah.
off, block off the sides of the road. 'Cause a lot of times they'll pull off this off to the side of the road and tie a rope around a tree or something and drive off, and all that crap just falls on the ground. But yeah, you get these little mom and pop shops that don't want to use the regular means of disposing stuff, so they can keep all the money. Because I know here in California, we have a recycling program for tires. And they charge each person who comes and get new tires, they charge you per tire for this recycling program.
Yeah,
So
right.
so I always tell the guy when I was an inspector, I said, if I catch any of you guys illegally dumping or you stockpiling these tires and not getting them recycled, I will have your license revoked in the recycling program.
Right.
Point
You
blank.
see what Joe wrote in there? He said, "Don't hate on me, Joe."
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Joe, I don't hate on you. I just hate on the fact that you root for an NFL team that pays off the officials every game because they can't win on their own.
Oh man. Well, I know Bill, drum reviewer, is probably beside him, so he probably on that fire the coach bandwagon. I tell him this, hey, the Steelers just got outplayed. Period. There wasn't no bad calls. I said you know your quarterback threw an interception, but it was basically as I looked at the play, the receiver who was the number one guy didn't run his full route. So the safety over the top saw that, so he hung around the middle, got the pick instead of having to cover the other third of the field on that receiver. So I think everything has an effect. And the other tight end who fumbled the ball, you can't blame that on coach. You can't blame that on him. I said the guy fumbled the ball. I said that's part of the game. So I didn't see any real bad call. It's like we're having more of them happen, and I think that's why we're supposed to have replay. But I don't see them going to the replay to verify stuff. It's kind of like boom bang. Let's keep it pushing.
Yeah, go ahead and defend them. That's all right. They're gonna go to the Super Bowl and they're gonna have to play Detroit, and Detroit's gonna spank them.
And Detroit might get their act together themselves, and they might get bounced out of the second round.
Is that your projection, Joe?
No, I'm not. Like I said, I don't watch it enough right now to even care. The Saints came on the other day. I turned it on, looked at it. It was 14-0 Green Bay, and I turned it off. I said, "Shit, I'd rather watch a Christmas movie."
You watched the Christmas movie?
Yeah,
I did. I put a Walmart. It was something Santa, and it was the one where the girl wrote a letter to Santa when she was a kid. Said, "Please help me find my true love."
Mhm.
And she sent it. And then when they went back to their house years later, she walked in there and noticed that the air vent by the chimney was glowing. And she said, "What? There's no light in there." Opened it up, and a letter was in there. So it was sealed and everything. So it wasn't her. It was a letter, but she knew who it was from. Opens it up, and all the gold writing starts appearing on it, and tells her that you're gonna fall in love, and his name is Nick, and goes through all of this stuff. And then that day she meets 3 different Nicks. One's name ends with an A, one ends with a B, one ends with a C. So it's Nick A, B, and C.
Mm.
Then it goes on where the guy she's working with, she can't stand. His name's Chris. And they start falling in love and all of this stuff. And she's got to the last bell of midnight to decide, or she'll lose him. And come to find out, his real name was Nick D. Like that. And it's I mean, I said, oh, his name's got to be Nick. His name's got to be Nick too, somewhere in there. Must be a middle name or something. I kept saying,
Yeah.
I was all into that movie. It's a good movie.
Wow. Yeah, Joe, I have to agree. I think this year is definitely going to come down to who's the healthiest and who's clicking the best. Because I think a lot of the teams going into this last couple of weeks, everybody's firing all cylinders. I mean, Green Bay looks strong. Detroit can be strong. Kansas City looks really good. The way Baltimore beat the brakes off of Houston last night, Kansas City may not make it either and stuff. And the Steelers can beat anybody on any day if they don't beat themselves. So it's a lot going on. So it's going to be about who makes the fewest mistakes going into the playoffs.
Well, every week, every game, somebody gets hauled off on a cart, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just who's going to be healthy. You know?
Well, you realize how many head injuries this year?
I've seen a lot more knees this year, like the guy in Houston.
There've been a lot of concussions, head injuries. And the thing that's funny is that the NFL has now come out with that new deal where you can wear it to protect the helmet better.
Right.
And the people that are getting hurt don't have them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I wonder if they're going to be a mandatory thing.
Who knows?
Because we had a high school here that was doing the same thing. They were wearing them at all their practices, and they got them made special for their team with other logos on them and everything. And the first game of the season, they came out, LHSAA said, can't wear them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't let them wear
them. Yeah. No, I just think about that the guy from Houston that caught that touchdown pass, and like I said, it didn't even look like he even got hit, but I think it was his teammate that kind of run up against his knee from the outside. Because they're both receivers, and the guy kind of rolled up on him in the end zone. And next one, the guy, as soon as he got hit, the guy said he grabbed his knee. He already knew something was wrong, and they had to cart him off. So I see a lot of guys going down, with a lot more.
Yeah, there's been a lot of leg injuries too.
Yeah, a lot of leg
injuries. And a knee will tell you quick.
Oh yeah.
I messed up my left knee when I was running. When I told the kids it was about 10 years ago. Well, I don't lakefront. And I said, boy, I don't care if you run track or not. You can't beat me. And we ran a little 50-yard dash. And I was about 45 yards into it. And he was coming up on me. So I kind of picked it up.
Yeah.
And I put everything I could into it. And that extra little strain, I felt that thing go, pow.
Oh, wow.
And when I got to the end of it, I was limping, but I beat him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he looked over at me, my daughter, everybody. They're on the ground laughing because I'm limping around. I can't only walk. I said, laugh all you want. I beat y'all. It took 4 days before I could walk in that thing right.
I saw somebody posted a little short, I don't know what the whole occasion was, but it's three older guys all talking trap about how fast they used to be back in the day. And they all raced. They took off. One guy fell right at the start, grabbing his leg. Another guy ran about maybe 10, 15 yards. He pulled up lame. And the last guy, he pulled up lame at the end.
Yeah, let me tell you, Dre. Let me tell you. Paul's a smart one here. He just eats his donuts and sits there. And if he got a little problem, he takes Duplex, So like I'm watching Instagram the other day, and they got this doctor comes on. He always says, have a healthy day and all of this, have a great healthy day. Right. And he says, when you wake up at night, when you sleep overnight, all these muscles contract. And he said, before you get out of bed, he says, you lay down on your back, you take your leg and you cross it over, the foot over on your other one, and you bend yourself this way, you stretch a little bit for about 30 seconds. Then you put it on this leg and do it about 30 seconds. Everything will open up. The hips will open up and everything. So I wake up that morning and I said, I'm going to try that. First off, I almost didn't get my leg over there. So I got my leg over there. So I said, okay, I can do it. I can do it. Like this, and I'm pushing. I said, oh yeah, kind of does feel kind of good. I'm like this. Might have to start doing this in the morning. So I go and I go to pull the other one over, and I get a Charlie horse in my leg. I said, oh shit, hell.
Oh man. Well, I know if everybody like me and the rest of us, I'm trying to get to the bathroom, so I ain't got time to be stretching.
But when
I'm
I
like,
did that, I said, oh hell no, hell with this. I ain't doing this no more.
yeah, I'm like I said, I mean, I try to do a little quick stretch, not intentionally, but sometimes it just happens. I know more than that. I know about at 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. It's like, dang, I don't want to get up. And I'm like trying to have a debate in my head. Do you really want to get up? And then my bladder says, oh, you gonna get up.
Well, the problem is if you don't listen, you start dreaming about peeing somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You know. And the other day I was laying that night and I'm thinking, I know I had to go to the bathroom, but I'm thinking
Yeah.
I'm walking into a bathroom in some
Yeah.
mall and going to pee, right?
Yeah.
And then I started to pee and I said, oh shit, woke up.
Yeah.
I ran in there because I don't know if I would have or not,
There you go. There you go. So I can say, yeah, it's nice when I can, wake up and just feel like, yeah, let me go ahead and stretch real quick. But usually when I wake up, it's because I got woke up.
Yeah.
Other parts of my body says, hey, wake up. You need to go take
And I
care
gotta
of
watch
something.
out when I'm getting out of bed where the dogs are laying.
Mm.
I'll step down on top of a dog. You never know.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Because I
I stepped
remember
on top of Loki about a week ago.
yeah,
He had his tail out there, little bitty
Mm.
tail, this big, and I got to step on it.
Wow.
Good morning, Can Fix Stuff.
JDS.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That weekend we had that Vegas meet. I tell you, Joe, I had not done anything. I stepped out of the bed that Friday morning, and I swear I don't have gout, but I thought I had it. I was like, I was limping all day. And then I got in that car, drove that couple hours to Vegas. It took everything I could just to walk inside the resort to the front desk, man, without stopping. I was hurting. I was hurting. And I told my wife, it's just the top of my foot. It was just the top of it. And I was like, what the heck? I hadn't done anything, nothing like that. It was just killing me. It was like that for like 2 days.
Well, mine's the left heel.
Mm.
When I'm on the field of these games,
Uh-huh.
I'll get to the end of the game and I feel it's starting to feel like it's bruised a little bit.
Mm.
And then I'll get home and I'll walk around a little bit. And by the time I go to bed, as soon as I lay in the bed, it feels like the whole ankle is out of place and it starts to hurt. Then I wake up in the morning and when I step on it, I got to stand up and stand there until I can put weight on it and get it to where I can walk on it.
Yeah.
And that happened the last 6 games of the season, every week. And it took me about a day and a half before I could walk right.
Yeah.
So this got to stop. I've tried braces. I found one I had the other day. I knew I had it. It's one of these copper fits.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that when next time I got to do something like that.
Yeah.
To see if that helps.
Yeah.
Just to get a little extra.
I mean, at least it's something that's reoccurring with you, so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on, or what you're doing, or what you're eating. Or this thing is like out of the blue. It's just like boom, and I ain't had a problem since that week.
I think it's the fluid that I'm getting too much fluid down there.
Mm-hmm.
But then the other problem I got this little copper fit thing, right?
Right.
I got to be able to find a way to put this shit on. Been down there to get that, I'd be getting a cramp in my back and all kind of shit.
Oh man.
It's like, sometimes I actually was going to put, I have one of them that is really good that you put on, you tie up and everything.
Right.
And I did that one game, tied it up. It took me about 15 minutes to get it on right. Got it on right. My back was hurting, everything else. Come back and it's hurt a little bit when I took it off. And I said, it wasn't worth the effort. I was hurting more putting it on than taking it off. That's what happens. You get old.
Yeah, that's how I look at it, man. It's just getting old, and that's about it.
But I could feel my ankle. I was talking, like I said, I got a doctor on the sidelines. That's my orthopedic doctor that does my knee. And I was telling him, and his son plays basketball. I'll see him again today.
Right.
So, because I got basketball tonight, by the way, for the next 4 days. So I'm sitting there and I was telling him, I said, watch. And I sit there and I start moving just my left leg. And you could feel that whole ankle area go click, 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 click.
Oh,
like
wow.
that.
Mhm.
And he looks at it and he reaches down there and he's giving me an exam out by the court. And he's checking it and he says, minute again. And we go click, click, click. He says, yeah, man, you got strengthening muscles. he said, that's probably what it is. He said, did you ever have an injury on that side? No, I said, Achilles on the other side. I don't remember ever spraining that ankle or anything. That one. He goes, always been my right. And he goes, well, it seems to me like it's just the muscles aren't tight enough around that. You might have to just, he said, when you're sitting down, just rotate your ankle different ways.
Yeah,
That's
flex
what I
it.
do.
Yeah.
Flex it, try to strengthen it, you know?
Yeah.
And he gave me a couple exercises. I sit here and when I'm talking to y'all, I'll be moving the ankle up and down, trying to just open it up again. I was just feeling it going click, click, click.
Wow.
Well, you know what I've noticed is just the last few days, when I first get up and I or like if I'm gonna put my shoes on or whatever, my right knee will pop. Doesn't hurt or anything. It's just I get this popping noise.
It just started when? Just the last few days?
Yes.
How many Boston creams have you eaten?
Well, you know, like you gotta get at least 6 a day in, you know.
After about 40 of those suckers, you're probably gaining enough weight to make it pop.
You think?
I bet.
Oh, Lance. Your mic.
Lance is blowing up over there.
Yeah.
That isn't Lance, that's that drone flying over. Now I found out if I go to the grocery, I've got 17 steps to walk up to my apartment, my level. And if I'm coming up them steps and I got a handful of groceries, everything hurts. An extra 15 pounds.
No kidding.
He must have that mic that Justin's got.
Yeah, you're
that's
static,
bad.
Lance. You're very static.
Okay, let me close down. Hold on.
That is overmodulating. What?
Yeah.
He might have rolled over the cord.
Gains too.
Did you catch Johnny this morning, Joe?
I heard part of it. I got up and he was on for about 20 minutes, and I was more interested in making my breakfast.
Yeah. I come in from the gym. I'm like, what is going on here? I said, y'all trying to pull a Jerry Lewis marathon or what?
Yeah.
Is this any better, guys?
Yeah, much better, Lance.
That works
better.
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jerry Bauer put a pretty good follow me video on. I think I put it in the link. Kind of cool. So sometime go watch that.
Is that with the
Okay.
Neo?
It looks like it is. Does he say? Let's see. And he's sharing it with some people some people, he's walking on the beach and some people walk by and he's being an advocate for drones, which is kind of cool. He's showing them, the green.
So here's my question, Dre. If I take the Neo and I go way out in the boonies and I get out there and I'm walking around and I get it to follow me and it don't listen to me and I turn around and just shoot it. Will I get in trouble?
Shooting your own drone.
Well, it's always that same philosophy. When you're out in the boonies, or out in the woods, can you hear a tree fall?
What
No,
goes
because I'm gonna
to
post it
Vegas?
if I shoot it.
There's the difference right there. As long as you don't post it, ain't nobody heard nothing.
Well, the
Is that
thing of
mean
it
you gonna
is,
say that I shot an aircraft?
would that qualify as drone abuse?
That'd be a little beyond that.
I get a knock on my door and they say, you shot down an aircraft. No, it's a freaking Neo. It wasn't even ready. That's mine,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know
man.
what they say, what goes to Vegas.
So I could go to Vegas and do it then, you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know about Vegas is very safe. They'd be on you as soon as you launch that drone, they'd be on you.
So if I go on the strip with the Neo and have it follow me, Think I'll get in trouble?
Dude, they'll pull up on you by the time you'll even hit altitude level. Them boys don't play up there. They got
Let me
their
tell you
grown
about
stuff
gambling. Let me tell you about casinos. When I worked on the Treasure Chest, okay? Treasure Chest Casino had the Adam, what was it? I was Unidated. Adam One. That was Adam One was their eye in the sky, right?
on.
And they said Adam One Unidated like this. And they said one day they called me and they said, Adam One Unidated, we got a medical emergency over here. I said, where at? They said, in our control room. 10-4. They said, I'm right around the corner from him, right? Walk over there, knock on the door. He opens a little bitty slot that you can't even see through. And he goes, step back over there by the door over there. Okay. I stepped over there, so I can't see in the room, right? So I stepped back against, he said, against the wall right there. So I did against the wall. He opens it up, drags the guy out, and closes the door.
What?
I said, oh, shit. But they don't want you to look and see the control, all the cameras and stuff.
I know, but I said that there's got to be extenuating circumstances which this would qualify for a medical emergency
It did not.
that you have to say, you know what? I can say them limiting the amount of people coming in the room, but by them dragging that guy out, they might just exacerbate his condition.
Oh, I agree. I wrote that I approached the room and they drug him out for me, you know, and then I got my assessment started. But I put it in that report.
Heck yeah. I'm like, if something happened to this guy, you ain't gonna put the finger on me. Yeah. Put it on them.
They had a woman slip. They had repainted the deck and they didn't put the sand on it. They forgot to put the sand in it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's walking out there and slipped and fell and hit her arm. And right about here, she had about a 6-inch laceration and all the tissue showing and the fat and everything coming out of her arm. And I'm looking at it. And I said, yeah, you need some stitches and I could wrap it right now and put some stuff on it to get you to the hospital. And the guy she was with saying, oh, she's fine. I'll bring her. All of this. Well, we have to get your name and everything. And she's taking out her license and he grabs it from her. He says, you don't need to give him shit like this. Like that. You don't need to give him shit. We're going to boats here. We'll just go to the hospital. I can't believe you fell. So he's mad at her, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess he lost money.
Probably.
So that's probably what it was about. So she's sitting there and it's not really bleeding, but it had a little blood loss, but it was more of a like a slice. And just she saw the white tissue and the yellow tissue.
Right.
And I'm looking at it and I said, well, let me give you, I gave her a what you call it? A 4x4 just to hold it, you know, just to put on it. So put that on it so when you get to where you're going, at least you're not putting anything in it on the way.
Yeah.
So she gets there. I mean, she leaves, and I don't even have a name. So I'm getting ready to write it. And they said, Adam One Unit 80. I said, 10-4 what? I said, yeah. I said, Unit 80 like that. And he says, we got a picture of her license for you with the name.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll send it to you. So they got a little shoot. They can send it to me, right?
Right.
So they sent it to me, and then they sent me 3 pictures of looking down her boobs. You know, that was
man.
Because they called me and they said, Unity was sending you a picture. And I'd say, where's this from? And it'd be a blackjack table with the girls in little slit dresses and they'd be taking pictures of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they didn't want nobody in the room.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know how short.
Don.
We can kind of, there has to be, you know, like half-life when it comes to like nuclear decay.
Uh-huh.
I think there should be some sort of half-life to any one of Joe's stories, how soon it's going to decay version. I joined in on disgusting fatty tissue and gross and whatever, and then it turned into, and then I saw a picture of her boob.
They got something for you, Don.
It's like, we don't know
I'm now bringing it to a higher level.
We don't know when it's going to decay, but it's going to decay.
See, now my golden finger's at a higher level.
Yeah. Well, now that Don is here, I can leave out. I gotta go do some errands today, so they get cleaned up.
Because Don's here?
No, Don can hold up my.
Hey, Don, don't take it personally, but I get the hint. You know,
that's how it feels to me. It's like, hey, now that Don's here, I'm leaving.
No, I'm not leaving because you're here. I'm leaving, so now you can take over.
Have you
He's
noticed
giving him the floor.
Dre gets uncomfortable, he starts a little bit of a stutter.
I mean,
Yeah,
I just showed up. I didn't say I wanted to take over class.
yeah. That is your job. You're taking over the class.
I just showed up
Lance is
here
on
to
vacation,
observe.
so
I don't want to
he
be responsible for these people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, folks. Maybe I'll catch you this afternoon.
Okay.
Later, Dre.
Okay,
Right.
Bye,
Dre.
Dre. It was
See you,
nice
Dre.
seeing you for a second.
Yeah. Get that Miata running, buddy.
It's not my Miata.
It is.
And yeah, I want that Miata running.
So that you can get it out of his garage.
Whose is that, Don?
It's his
That's
son.
my son's.
Ah,
Man, he
Mine
got
is the
wheels
yellow
all
one,
up and
his is
everything.
Yeah, mine is the yellow one. His is the red one.
So what's wrong with the Miata?
Doesn't have wheels.
There's
Yeah, I
a
saw that
few
one.
things. There's a few things wrong with it. They're not big things, but
Yeah,
well, do you
you
suppose
need
he
wheels
parked it in your
to,
garage hoping you were going to fix it?
no, I'm willing to work on it with him. In fact, I helped him pull out the differential a couple weeks back. We just need to get that back together. And then he needs to be working on something. He's got some oil leaking down low in the engine. And the problem with that is it's probably going to mean pulling the engine.
Ah,
Yeah, that's a lot
And
of
if we
work.
pull the engine, we've done it before where we pulled the transmission off of it, and it's a pain in the butt. And he has been reading and researching, and it's actually easier on these if you just disconnect the transmission and pull the engine and the transmission together with the cherry picker. So that's going to be a huge job, and he just needs to borrow the cherry picker, and we either do it or we don't. But my projects here, I've got right here, I'm working on the enclosed box for the trunk space here. So that's where I'm at there on that. And I just got a couple of what are they called? Where you put your feet down instead of messing up your carpet, floor mats. Jeez, my brain is not working. I got a couple floor mats for Christmas that will go in here, but they are for a Volkswagen, but they are not. They don't figure out that this has a roll cage going through it, so I've got to set these in here, mark them out, and then cut out a little notch for the roll bar.
Hmm.
So I'm going to do that today because that's a quick, easy project, and I can get floor mats in there. And I'm at a point where it's like on that box, it's like it's one of those points where it's like you're either going to screw the entire project up or you're going to power through it. And so when I get to those, I kind of hesitate. And so I'm hesitating on it right now.
now what's the temperature down there?
It's above freezing. I think it's probably 40 degrees or so today. 43.
So it's
Something
not
like
the typical 60, 70 degree weather you like to drive the buggy.
Oh, no, it's not a driving day. And it's misty, rainy out today, too. I can, if it's a nice clear day, I can throw on a jacket and drive it around 45 degrees and it still operates okay. Once you get a little bit below that, since I don't have a heater on the intake manifold, it starts sputtering and stuff.
Yeah.
What you need is a Power 1000 in the rear seat well and a fan heater in the front seat well.
No. No, I could get the pipe and drill out my heat risers on the exhaust, and because you can, that's how they normally heat the intake up there is with a little heat riser off the exhaust. And I could do that, but Not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
This kind of
Apollo
weather is-
1000 $379 again.
This kind of weather is the kind of weather that you work on it and do stuff with it. And fiddle and tinker.
Yeah, I was speaking to the girl that I used to work with who's got a 1974 Beetle that she still runs.
Oh, there's a nice one up the street.
Mm.
It doesn't, I don't ever see it move, but it's nice. I guess as a grandfather, I talked to him one day. I guess he had built it and each of the granddaughters it's gone through each of it went through his daughter and each of the granddaughters have now driven it.
Yeah.
But I guess the current granddaughter doesn't drive it.
Uh-huh.
It's just sitting there. It's like, I worry about it. It's like, it needs to move. You don't just park it. It needs to move or else it's just sitting there and fall apart.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 51 degrees today,
Ooh.
but it's foggy and misty.
That's 6. What's 6? Echo, what's 6 degrees centigrade in Fahrenheit? Echo, listen.
I listen when you say my name.
You didn't.
I listen to you. I do listen. You don't speak very clearly, and don't put it on me. I was listening.
Yeah. Echo,
I was
what's
arguing with him.
in Fahrenheit? Echo, what's 6 degrees centigrade in Fahrenheit?
From ck12.org. 6 degrees Celsius. Degree Celsius is 42.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Degree Fahrenheit.
43.
Here is my white paint stick.
A white paint stick.
Did Donald say his wife hates the buggy?
No.
No, I never said that.
He said, where's his white paint stick?
Oh, white paint. I thought you said wife.
My wife hates it. White paint stick. I was looking for a white paint stick to mark the black.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to notch out.
Now, does
Oh,
your wife like to go in the buggy?
You mean a
She's
piece
only
of
been in the
chalk?
buggy maybe 3 times.
Oh, okay. So it's
But-
not high on her priority list.
No,
You mean
but
a piece
go
of
ahead.
chalk?
Do what?
You mean a piece of chalk?
I could get a piece of chalk, but these are slick and I'm not sure how much tooth I would get on some chalk, but this actually puts out paint.
Yeah, I've got a white wall tire pen that has a fiber tip that you
Yeah.
can use. They're quite good.
Yeah, just like that right there out. Well, you probably can't see there. But
In fact, I write the numbers on my drone batteries with that. So it's in my drone case.
yeah, for Christmas, I got 3 T-shirts that were all related to Dune Buggy.
Uh-huh.
One of them was a speed buggy. One just said an old guy in his Dune Buggy.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember what the other one said. Dune buggies are like, what did it say? Dune buggies are like strip clubs. You keep throwing money at it, hoping for a ride. You're hoping for the ride of your life. That's it.
Hmm.
Well, I would imagine there's a certain genre of people that want to have and own a dune buggy.
42.8, Joe.
What just fell?
Okay, everybody, I think I'm going to call it. Donald,
I
good
get-
luck with your project.
What do you
All
think,
right.
Justin?
Okay,
you think,
Lance,
Justin?
take care. Mark, We'll see you all later today.
pack it
Bye
in.
for now.
Let's pack it